guys, welcome back to my channel. We Need to Talk. If you're new, welcome. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're old, welcome back to 30 Days Out. So today is day 5, I believe. Today is the 20th, which means we have 5 more days left until Christmas. And I am giving my family the best gift ever, me graduating with my master's. So all of you are welcome. Okay, my presence is your present. No, I'm just kidding. But yes, there's 5 days left until Christmas. And we're on day 5 right now. Let's see. Today, I have my business cards for you guys to see. So I ordered them on Staples. I did mention in my previous video that they do same day. But it took them a really long time. I ended up having to order them in the morning. So I ordered them this morning at like 8 or 9 o'clock. And I didn't get them till like 7 or 8 o'clock today. 7 or 8 p.m. today. This is what they look like. So on the front, they have my name and class of 2019. And then I'm going to block out some of the information because I don't want everybody to see that information. But then this part has my name and the school I went to. Typically business cards, especially for graduate students, are the business cards that their school offers them. But because it's the end of the semester and I never got to get them, I just decided to make my own, and I made sure I included my school in them. So this is what they look like. I've shipped them out. Well, I've mailed them out with the thank you cards that I gave out. And when I went to get them, I ordered 250. So this is the box that I have. These are the standard regular business cards. They're not anything special. I have some business cards that I got at the conference to compare to mine. I don't want to get too much into this, but there are different, if you order them, they have like different cuts, finishes, and everything. For the most part, my business card looks the same cut as the rest of them because they have like ultra thick and premium. And I ordered 250 to begin with, and it was $21 for these. And she told me that they gave me extra, so I ordered 250. I'm not really sure how many I got because she didn't tell me how many, but both of these boxes are full of business cards. So I have a lot of business cards to keep. They have like 250, 500, and then I can't remember the other count that was higher, but I wanted to start off with 250 just because this is my first business card and I assume that I'm going to change it sometime in the future. My the design that I went with was actually a pre-made design. So Staples has it where you can create your own design on the website, and at first I was going with the pre-made designs that Staples had, and then I was trying to look to see what would be a better fit for me since I'm not using my school's business cards and I'm a master's student. So I went online and I found another website that had like a business card, like they had their own templates, and I like this one the most. So I ended up making it on their website, and I just screenshotted it and put it and uploaded it into this Staples website because you can upload your own design. And the only reason I didn't order it from that website is because I didn't want to wait. I wanted to send these cards out now, and I didn't know how long it was going to take, especially with the holidays around. So I got my business cards and I've sent them off. Today, I don't want you guys to feel like this is just like a motivational type of things. I really want to be honest with you guys, so each time I bring a topic up, it's just my honest truth on it because that's something that I'm going through during my process. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about staying organized and being and staying motivated. So I also got a planner today. This is what it looks like. I haven't yet got a 2020 planner yet, so I decided to get one today while I was out at Staples. I was looking at the ones at Staples, and I like them. And with planners, my rule of thumb is if you get an expensive one or a fun one, you're more likely to use it than a cheap or free one, because I feel like planners are something that always sound like a good idea, and then once you get them, you use it like the first or 2-3 weeks, and then after a while you just stop using them. my first like expensive or fun planner I got was a happy planner, and I did use it a lot, but it was so bulky that I didn't carry it around as much as I should have. So now I like to get more than one planner. Typically I'll get a planner that I'll keep at home, one I keep in my book bag, and one that can fit in my purse. So I think this one is actually from 2000. Yeah, this is a previous planner I had for 2018. This one was actually my expenses planner, so I was keeping all of the any receipts when I was trying to track money. I was keeping any receipts and everything and how much money I was spending in there. But this is my first one. I get more than one planner. I typically go to TJ Maxx to get my planners because I feel like TJ Maxx has very good planners for cheap. This one is $6.99 from TJ Maxx, and it's really cute. Like I said, I do like to get small ones to put in my purse, and I feel like those are the ones that I use the most just because they're so convenient and handy to have with you. So this is the one that I got, and the one thing that actually, this doesn't have what I thought it did. But I was looking at planners at Staples, and I probably will end up getting a planner from there. Let me see what the name of the planners were, because I took a picture of it. They're called Day by Designer planners, and I really like the way that they look because they have like your top 3 goals for today, and that's something that I really enjoy, and that kind of goes into staying motivated, because during this process it's not going to be something where it's like you're going to wake up every day like, okay, let's apply for jobs, or you're going to be optimistic. I feel like now, especially since I've been applying to jobs since November, now I'm getting to that point where it's a holiday season. Nobody's really reached out or got back to me yet. I don't really feel like I'm as motivated to apply for jobs as I was before, and this will happen. And sometimes you can give it a break. You don't have to feel like you have to apply to jobs every day or you're not doing it right. There's going to be days when you don't want to apply, and you shouldn't apply to jobs or try and do things productive when you do not feel the most motivated, because then that's going to affect the work that you're actually doing. So I've kind of relaxed a little bit on applying to jobs, and that's just because I'm getting to that point where I'm unmotivated. And during undergrad I felt like I wasn't able to recognize it as much as I am now. Well, once I graduated undergrad, I wasn't able to recognize it as like I can now. So you will get unmotivated, especially during seasons like this, or if you're on social media a lot where you see a lot of people talking about their jobs that they're starting or moving or things like that. That definitely can contribute to post-grad depression and being unmotivated and just feeling in a point where you're just unhappy. So there are a lot of different ways that you can help get yourself motivated, or just like to get you out of the funk that you're feeling, because I feel like they're funks. To me, I'm not going to take away from mental health and depression, but for me, I feel like more than anything, they become funks where I'm just like, ugh, some days are better than others. Some days I wake up and I'm just like, I'm not where I want to be. I'm not happy right now. And it's really just because either I'm in a position where I'm by myself and I have more time to think about where I'm not at, or I'm spending way too much time on social media comparing myself to others. And that's easy. It's easier said than done to say, don't compare your journey to other people. But when you know you're doing what you're supposed to do, and you see other people who may not have done the same thing, or you really don't know their story, and you see them in a better position than you are, it's hard. So there's a lot of different things that I do to stay motivated. I know that when I graduated from undergrad, one thing that helped me apply to jobs a lot was the jobs that I was working. So like I said, I worked at Chick-fil-A in a nursing home, and I knew I wasn't at a job that I wanted to be at or where I was supposed to be. So that was really my motivation to every day look for jobs. And because it was still in customer service, I talked to a lot of people that allowed me to see or research different options, because sometimes our conversations would get deeper than just asking what their order is. Or even at the nursing home, sometimes you'll have conversations that will go deeper than what you intended them to, and sometimes they're helpful, and it gives you like homework to go through, go back to when you get home or something like that. So I feel like a big source of motivation is definitely if you feel like you're in a position that you don't want to be in. You are in charge and you are the only person that can control the position that you're in. So if you don't like where you are, then it's up to you to change that. So applying to jobs, even when you don't want to, is great when you're at a job that you don't like being at. Another thing that I like to do is I'll read during the semester. It's kind of hard to read as much as I would like to, just because they're already assigning me a lot of reading, especially within the STEM field. For science, you have to read a lot of research papers, so sometimes I don't get to read as much as I want to. But when I do have the free time, I like to read books. And what I don't like to read like the all books tell a story, but I don't like to read the romance or the thriller or anything like that. I like to read motivational books that kind of give me a different perspective on things that or get me thinking. So right now the book that I have is it's from Bernie Siegel. He's a doctor, and it's Love, Medicine, and Miracles. It says lessons learned about self-healing from a surgeon's experience with exceptional patients. So this is a book that I've just started. I recently ordered and I'm going to start reading. I haven't started reading it yet, but now that I feel like I'm getting to that point where I'm unmotivated, I'm going to start reading this book just to get sometimes it's not even a different perspective. It's like, man, okay, you're being ungrateful about something that somebody else has 10 times worse than you. And that's not the way that everybody else handles situations. So I'm not going to say read a motivational book that's going to get you out of your funk, because you're going to realize how much better your life is. But sometimes you need books that allow you to see a different perspective than the way that you're approaching situations. And for me, it's motivational books. The book I read before then was like, I wish I could remember the name to it. It was like it's at home. Whenever I go home, I'll make sure that I'll include it in one of the vlogs, because I think that is a very powerful book, and it's something that I recommend to all of my friends to read. It's like about how to be a successful person, and really it's the way that the author breaks it down is really good, because it allows you to think about things from a perspective that you don't like. Going for your dreams or shooting for your dreams. One thing that he said in the book that really stood out to me is that a lot of people feel like they get too old to live their dreams. And he when people say that to him, he always asks them, how old, like, what's your life expectancy? What is the normal life expectancy for you, or what you think it is? And typically people will say in the 80s or 90s, and then that person that's saying that may be in their 50s or something like that, but that still means you have at least 20 to 30 good years to actually strive for a goal and work towards achieving it and thriving at that goal. So never feel like you're ever too old to reach a goal, because long term you never are. And some goals are never things that are so active and on the go. Some of them are passive goals. So always realize that you're never too old to reach your dreams, because the age that you think is old for reaching a dream still gives you enough years to thrive with that dream that you have. So this is a book that I'm going to start reading. With my agenda, like I said, I wanted to talk about staying organized as well as staying motivated. The book that I had, the agenda I was looking at, I wanted to get at Staples, but it was $50. I'm like, do I really want to spend that on it? Because I feel like I said, if you pay more on an agenda, or you have a fun agenda, then you're more likely to use it than a free one or a cheap one. But at the same time, I felt like with that $50, I was just going to think about the fact that the agenda was $50 every time I open it up. So if y'all want to buy it for me, y'all can. This could be a graduation gift. But this is my first planner that I have for 2020, and if you look at the pages, it's not really that much on them, but that's okay, because I feel like when you have a planner, you don't really write as much as you think you are. Like I feel like people get these big supersized ginormous planners and feel like, well, I was one of those people. I'm people. So I started off getting those, and I realized I wasn't writing as much information as I wanted to in them, so for all the space that I was given. So I kind of started to downsize on the planners. I do still get big planners. Let me see if I have. I thought I had a planner from last year, but I guess it's somewhere else. But I do get decent sized planners as well, just because sometimes I can write big, but for the most part I try not to get those extremely big ones because they defeat the purpose of me using them all the time if I have to carry it around like a textbook. So in my planner, I'll always write out like important dates and what I have to do. But one thing I like to do, and I also use it on my on my mirror, is I'll write out like my 3 goals for the day. So well, typically during the school year, I'll pre-fill out my planner with assignments that are due. And how I do it is I'll do assignments and exams that I have, and then the week before I'll put a reminder in there so that I'm not surprised turning the page to that week to see that there's an exam. I'm already aware that there's going to be one coming up. So for anyone that's in school, I think that's a great rule of thumb when you have a planner, is first off, make sure it's one that you're actually going to use, because it's easy as a student to not use them and try and rely on the syllabus or whatever. And things come up outside of the syllabus, so I always recommend getting a planner, because that's truly how you stay organized. But also set reminders for yourself in your planner. Don't just rely on yourself remembering the following week when you turn the page you have an exam, when you can set a reminder the week before to let yourself know. So for myself, I like to do 3 tasks that I have for the day, and I like it because it helps me stay motivated, and it puts me in a better mood when I know that I'm crossing things off of my checklist. So for today, I would say my 3 things that I have for today, because I didn't write them out, but I typically do. We're picking up my business cards and mailing out the letters. I had to wait for the business cards in order to mail out the letters, but that's one goal that I had, and I completed that one. My second one was getting another memory card for my camera, and I did that. And my third goal for today was to upload a video. That's going to be a consistent goal that I have daily, is to upload a video, but I'm not just going to remind myself in my head. I'm going to actually write it out so I'm seeing it. I don't really have a time frame set for each time I upload a video, just because I never know what may happen. Just like with these business cards, it took them forever, which I didn't know, but now I'm glad that I do know, because now I can tell you guys that it may have just been because it is the holidays, or it may have just been the staples that I was using in Terre Haute. But if you are going to use the same day business cards at Staples, be prepared to wait. It's not going to take it's not going to be as quick as you think that it may be, well, as I intended it to be. But yes, so I always like to write out my goals for today. I've checked off all 3 of them for today. Well, I have to upload this video, but if you're seeing this video, then it's uploaded. I'm sorry for it being so late. Staples took forever with my business cards. They actually had to reprint them because they printed them on the wrong paper. So I think that's why she gave me extra ones, but they look the same as the ones that they all look the same to me. So I don't know, but yeah, so that's why this video is coming out a little bit later. And also something that I also want to say is, especially if you get unmotivated, or if you just are in a space where you're just like not where I want to be, or I'm not happy, use sticky notes. I have so many sticky notes that I keep on my mirror just to remind myself to just like affirmations that I keep. Pay attention to what you're putting into your body. Nourishment is key in this season. It's easier to understand signs from God when you're quiet. Patience is a long-lasting quality of your faith. You don't have to go through this season alone. Know what you want and look for it. Have a plan, but leave room for God to do his thing, which is a big one for me. And be a thermostat and not a thermometer. Okay, so those are kind of the affirmations that I have posted on my mirror. I put them in places that I can see them. I use my mirror a lot because it is a full body mirror. So when I see that, I always can see those affirmations. And I will write my goals in a dry erase marker on the mirror, because then I can see that those goals on my mirror every time I look into the mirror, which I do quite often because it's right next to my bed. And as far as the affirmation, be a thermostat and not a thermometer, that is a very popular one for people that come into my room. I see those affirmations all the time, so sometimes I forget that they're there, and people will look at them and they like them, and they always seem to ask me about that one. And what that one means is, A thermometer is just something that reads off the external environment. It doesn't change. It just reads off a specific temperature to what it feels in the environment. Whereas a thermostat adjusts its temperature to its environment. So when it says be a thermostat and not a thermometer, adjust to your environment, everything is not going to be in place the way that you want it to be. Some things are going to be harder than others, and some things are not going to work out the way that you thought it to be. And your goals that you have, it's not always going to be a straight and narrow path. There may be several different directions you have to go just to reach that one goal. And that's where it comes in to be a thermostat and not a thermometer. Adjust to your environment and still do what you need to. Don't just be something that reads off one thing and that's it. Adjust to your environment. I don't think that there's anything else I want to talk about in this video, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. We need to talk.